Okay, all right, there's no national commission to say, okay, listen, I want you in my office Monday morning. We're going to watch this. You got to explain to me what the hell you did here or what you didn't do because you didn't give an 8 count. You let him go to the corner. Last I checked, the rules have not changed in boxing. There are no timeouts. What did you do? Why did you do that? And if I don't get the right answer, you're suspended. You're suspended.
He got away with it. But the sport let him get away with it. There's nothing wrong with the fighters. It's the administrators of this sport that there's a lot wrong with. And there is. And you see it. And we shouldn't keep seeing it. It's got to be stopped. A referee, that is not in the rule book. You get hit with a jab. I know there was a second or two in between. Sometimes you see a delay, knockdown, whatever. The punch didn't hurt him. I understand that. But he got hit a jab, and then a second, 2 seconds later, he takes a knee. Guess what? I'm sorry. That constitutes a knockdown. Your knee goes...
Teddy Atlas has just dropped a bombshell with his analysis of the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight. As a seasoned boxing trainer, his sharp eye catches details that casual fans and spectators might overlook. This unique perspective makes his insights highly valued within the boxing community, often sparking discussion without much controversy. Here's what he had to say.
After a punch somewhere around there, that's a knockdown. There is, again, we're not in football. There are no fair catches here. You know what I mean? And if it was, to your point last night when I said it, it would be a touchback. You know what I mean? It would, if you took a knee in a certain situation, it would be a touchback. There were rules for a reason. Unless even Crawford came out, the great Terrence.
Amid the controversy surrounding this highly debated clash, which has captured the attention of the boxing community, Teddy Atlas has weighed in with his take on the fight's outcome. Speaking on his YouTube channel, The Fight, Atlas acknowledged that while the bout was extremely close, he believed Lamont Roach had done enough to secure the victory. I'm not saying it wasn't a close fight. It was. But I think I'm going to give it to Roach, Atlas stated. I'd have to watch it again to be completely transparent, but I've got to give it to Roach. Regarding the controversial knee that wasn't ruled a knockdown, Atlas placed the blame squarely on the referee.
The great Terrence Crawford, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world, in the top 3, between him, Inoue, and Usyk, right? I got Usyk first. I got him and Inoue right there. I think Usyk deserves to be first after what he's done, putting together the heavyweight title, the whole thing, the whole shebang. But Crawford came out and said, I didn't know that was a rule. I guess I was sleeping when they passed that one. I guess I was taking a nap, or maybe I was out doing road work.
What you was thinking when Tank did that when he took the knee? What you was thinking when he took the knee?
I can't speak on that.
Can't speak on that?
Can't.
He did some bullshit though?
I can't speak on
No personal opinion, nothing?
Can't.
Teddy Atlas didn't hold back when discussing the controversial moment in the fight. He took a knee. He got hit with a jab before that, which technically constitutes a knockdown. The referee blew it. He blew that call. That's a 10-8 round, and Roach should be the champion right now, Atlas declared. Continuing his passionate critique, Atlas turned his attention to the 9th round. I said it earlier, this isn't the Indianapolis 500. You can't just pull into pit row because your oil needs changing, your tires need swapping, or grease needs wiping from your eye. There's no pit row in boxing. He emphasized that when Tank went down on a knee, Roach had every right to capitalize. Give Roach credit, or maybe say he should have gone after him. Because the rule is, defend yourself at all times, right? He would have been within his rights to attack.
But definitely we need better refs that assure themselves, know how to make a decision, know they're making the right decision, emboldened to make that decision. I think that, I don't know that he would have let...
I've seen fighters land punches on opponents who are turning or walking away. The referee doesn't stop it unless the bell rings or he steps in, Teddy Atlas explained. Roach had every right to throw. He was a gentleman, a sportsman, and I give him credit for that. But when Tank turned, Roach could have landed a left hook, or since he's a southpaw, maybe a straight left. It was his right to pursue and throw. Maybe he could have caught Tank and knocked him down while he was turning. It wouldn't have been the prettiest sight, but he wouldn't have been wrong for doing it.
Road work. He didn't say that, by the way. I'm just adding that to it. But I must have been busy doing something when that rule. That is not a rule. I said it earlier. This is not the Indianapolis 500. You can't go into pit row.
Highlighting the real issue, Teddy. Atlas continued. Who was wrong, Tank and the referee? The referee allowed him to take a knee, go to his corner, get whatever was obstructing his vision wiped away, and then return to the fight. If the referee had scored that a 10-8 round, which technically he should have, even though I know Tank wasn't hurt, Roach wouldn't have gotten a draw. He would have won the title. Atlas also pointed out that a lot of people holding a Ply 900 ticket are feeling pretty good right now. Despite Atlas's comments being largely uncontroversial, many in the boxing world view the March, one fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., as one of the most contentious bouts in recent memory. Nearly everyone in the sport has criticized referee Steve Willis for his questionable decision-making, allowing Davis to retreat to his corner mid-round without consequence and failing to deduct a point for taking a knee.
Better refs. We need more educated refs, whatever you want, trained refs. I'm not going to say honest because I don't know if honesty had something to do with it. I don't know.
This bout is sure to leave a sour taste in the mouths of boxing fans, at least until the rumored rematch takes place. With Davis escaping with a majority draw, a properly scored knockdown could have secured Roach the victory. Boxing legend Teddy Atlas didn't disagree with the widespread frustration over the poor officiating and was just as disheartened by the outcome as many others. However, in a recent episode of the Fight with Teddy Atlas podcast, the former trainer also shared a more optimistic perspective. That was high-level boxing, Atlas said of the Davis versus Roach fight. That was two guys at the highest level showcasing their skills and everything that comes with it. A lot of people might feel differently, but to me that was the sweet science at its best.
They're two quality fighters, short punches, putting them together on the inside, that's science. I know a lot of people say, no, Teddy, that's fire. That's offense. That's aggression. No, that's...
Atlas later elaborated on the skill level displayed in the fight, saying, when you're inside in a dangerous place, right in the middle of the furnace, and you don't get burned up, you don't get torched, you don't get scorched, that urges high-level boxing. That is the sweetest of the sweet science. I just marveled at it. These two guys, my goodness, there's no room for error. Both fighters, especially Tank, are so dangerous. One little punch, bang, it's all over. He concluded by expressing his admiration for the fight, saying, I appreciated that fight. They did their thing. Atlas then posed an interesting question. Is it possible that Tank went in like everyone else who made him a 1,600 favorite, thinking he'd make short work of Roach? Maybe he even bought into that, subconsciously, even if he didn't want to. That happens, and that could have played a part. But at the end of the day, it was Roach who forced him into having an off night.
You can do the sweet science and be aggressive. You don't have to do it on the outside only. You don't have to do it only, with separation. You don't have to do it only.
Of course, a boxing veteran. As respected as Teddy Atlas wouldn't limit his commentary to a simple post-fight recap, especially not in this case. While immediate reactions are often brief and surface level, Atlas took things much further on his podcast, offering an insightful and in-depth breakdown of the fight 2 weeks after the event. Kicking off his analysis with a perspective that was both unique and respected, the legendary trainer revealed his take on the Davis versus Roach showdown. Roach had the right fight plan. He was longer, bigger, taller. He used the jab on the outside and controlled the geography of the fight, Atlas explained. Then he started shrinking the ring coming inside. Honestly, I didn't think he should do that. I wasn't sure if he could. I thought it was dangerous territory for him, and it was, but he was prepared for it. Atlas continued. I thought his ideal territory was on the outside, where he could use the jab, set traps, and see if he could get Tank, a buttoned-up fighter who doesn't make many mistakes. To bite, get over anxious, frustrated, or walk into a counter.
Where it's everybody in the world can see it, where you set traps all night long. You could set traps while you're pressing a fight too, on the inside. Force the guy to open up and then beat.
Eddie Atlas admired Lamont Roach's bravery and his ability to stand up to a powerhouse like Tank. Don't go into the lion's den. You might get your head bitten off like so many others have, but Roach went in the right way. Atlas noted.
Shot, throw short shots inside his little wider shots. That was the sweet science. That was high level fight, high level boxing. Really,
Yeah, that was a really
high-level
good fight.
Stuff. High level stuff where there was no room.
He kept a tight guard, worked behind the jab, and executed classic Joe Louis techniques. Expressing his admiration for the legendary Joe Louis, Atlas added, "I love Joe Louis. He threw the nicest, shortest right hands you've ever seen. Straight, 6 inches, no room to counter, no room for mistakes." Continuing the comparison, Atlas pointed out, Roach threw those kinds of right hands and left hooks, short, precise punches.
Choice, he knows how to do it if he wants to. At the end of the day, all of what I said, Bud, it's one thing that really makes today. It's not